the heck? It's doing something trippy here, but whatevs. Oh my God. That's what happens when you use the green screen, huh? Anywho, those that are coming in love and light, high vibes and positivity. Greetings, welcome. This is going to be brief. The title, well, I'm never really brief. I say that, but I'm never brief. Anyway, the title says, what if you're wrong? Common question readers get, common question you just may even ask yourself as you are going about life, making decisions, like trying to learn how to read energy, trying to be balanced, trying to have wisdom, trying to, be, logical, and all these things in combined, and the question still remains, what if you're wrong? Sit with it, because I do have an answer for that. And, the best thing that I can say is, this is the game of life, yo. This is Earth School. And, we're flawed. Everything is about intention and motivation. So that's the make or break. That's what determines where people end up landing karmically. It's one thing to willfully and intentionally misguide or mislead, or willfully intentionally make some type of a decision knowing full well, you know what I'm saying, something is not right. There's just a vast difference between where those two land. A lot of people do get into analysis paralysis because they're saying, what if I'm wrong? There's always that question, isn't it? I wish I can say I had all the answers, but there's nobody who does, and anybody who is claiming to, they're lying to you. The best thing that I can offer is this. You all hear me say this often. Every time I find myself in a thither, or I feel like I'm tying myself in a pretzel, being that pragmatic Capricorn, right? And then I have a lot of air on my chart, so those are just two lethal combinations. Okay, this is shit, bitch. Fucking the thinker and shit, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Air all over the place in my birth chart. But I like to reduce things to simplicity. What if the person is not a narcissist? What if I'm just throwing all this stuff out there that a lot of people wrestle with, including me. I was a person that would wrestle here. What if someone's not a narcissist? What if they didn't do that? What if they did this? What if they didn't do that? What if they didn't mean it? What if next thing you know, you are in a pretzel. Ask yourself the question, what do you know? Since the issue is, what if you're wrong about something, but what do you know? So what has helped me and is continuing to still help me is this. I reduce it to the basics, the simplistics. I asked my higher selves and my team to help me with it. When you start loving yourself truly, you take it back there. Whether or not you have 100% all of the facts, did somebody treat you poorly? Did they treat you poorly? Yes or no? Disrespectful to you? Yes or no? You see what I'm saying? Were they abusive on some? Whether or not you have all of the facts about the finite details and the ins and the outs we have usually enough information to determine some basic things. The only time we're going into overdrive questioning things usually is because we're so used to dealing with toxic types. It's become normalized. We're so used to being gaslit. So gaslighting causes you to question your own reality in and of itself. But we can be wrong, yes. But you know what you've experienced, even if you don't have all of the facts. Was someone dismissive? Was someone insensitive, lacking empathy? These are things you know you experienced, whether or not you have all of the detailed facts about how far something went, how deep something went, whether or not someone is clinically diagnosed as a lunatic or not, whether or not someone fucked this one or that one, married this one or that one, stole this and that. The intuition is sharp, and it gets sharper as you're healing. If you know that you are dealing with people who had a tendency, this is why it serves us to get to a place of being legitimately honest about who we are and the people we have surrounded ourselves with, whether this is our kinfolk. I mean, we like to live in the cloud, but most of us, we know, come on, man. We know the truth about our peeps, if you will. You know if these motherfuckers come on as lying asses and shit. You know if you got a super, super duper manipulative motherfucker in your blood. We know it whether we want to admit this or not. We know if we have, and so you have to learn how to that'll help you in a balanced way. Like, okay, especially with the folks you know. What are their patterns? Did they have a history of being pathological? Do they have a history of hold'em? Shit. Like, you have to kind of, oh, man, I wonder why when I tap the screen it does that. That's interesting. Okay, anyway, I don't know why it's doing that. So the best thing that you can do is just try to reduce, getting back to the basics until, if necessary, because let me tell you something, there's times where you will get all of the technical facts, and then there's times that you may not, but you have to be okay with the basic. If people are toxic and abusive to you, and you know that you have received that type of energy, whether or not you know all the details, there's nothing else to discuss. If those very same individuals have not owned up to any of that, then there's still nothing else to discuss. Whether you know the full details of, did they do this? Did they do this? Is this true? Is this a rumor? Is this a da? Did you ever try to approach these people and they were dismissive to you? See, that's going to help a lot of people, because I'm sorry, the reality is, if you have dealt with super toxic types, I'm not talking about how everybody's going to say something like, everybody's got a little bit of dysfunction, or, but those statements come from normalizing toxicity, normalizing abuse, because nobody wants to deal with it until they are directly affected in some kind of way. Did you ever try to have a legit conversation with the person? And again, like I said, they were dismissive. They were condescending. They turned the conversation, to about them. And you're like, bitch, didn't I call you? And you turning this into some shit for some free counseling, bitch. Like, anyway. What if you're wrong? Do you guys know that that very statement is why so many stayed in abusive relationships throughout history? Allowing themselves to get into analysis paralysis. What if I'm wrong? Wrong about what? I think they hit you. I think they did knock you in the head, bitch. Yes. I think you are not misinterpreting that. Hello. Shit. But it's that very thinking, that plausible energy. What if they didn't mean to? What if this part wasn't true? What if, 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 what if? You gonna waste your life and what if? What do you know? You know they didn't show you any love and compassion. You know they were not there for you. You know they did not step up. You know that they didn't make sure something was clear. You know that they sat back and said nothing. What do you know? See, this is why I say things this way, to help simplify it, because those are questions. But what do you know? What if you're right? What are you right about? You're right that nobody called you and clarified anything. And why is that? Is it perhaps because they wanted you confused? Is it because perhaps they didn't care? When we're in situations with people that actually do care for us and we care for, situations with people that actually do care for us and we care for, if there is a misunderstanding based on some type of a miscommunication or based on a rumor or based on whatever. But when it's situations where we actually do care and we know that something may look a certain way, especially if the external could somehow imply certain things, then most of us is going to step up on some level when we care. We're going to be like, you know what? That's, I heard woo-de-woo, or it may appear this way, but no, woo-de-woo, I wouldn't do that. Or, you know what I'm saying? When we are coming from sincere places, even if the information was mistaken, because people who care about you, they don't want you confused. Only narcissists and sociopath and game players and people who have been used to and shaped into a toxic way of life have the energy of they don't care when it comes to the people that they care about, whether or not there's some kind of confusion. People who love you, they don't want you to be confused. Unless they got, like I said, severe personality disorders, their own issues that they're not truly dealing with. So, what if you're wrong? I'm actually giving you the keys. If you're wrong, and this was situations where this was not some malicious energies, then there will be people stepping up to clarify. You hear this all the time. People are in romantic connections. People who care for you seriously, legitimately, who wants the connection just as much as you do. They're going to attempt to commune, converse, bring clarity. It's going to be their heart's desire. People who want you confused is people who fucked up in the head. People who want you confused are usually narcissists, psychopaths, and sociopathic. I don't care if they're not diagnosed. Game players, even if they're in your own blood, yes. People who got something to hide. and being truthful and bringing clarity would incriminate them. But decent folks, legit folks, yes? What if you're wrong about the minute details of things? You don't need to have that all in check. What you need to know is the basics of what your experience has been with someone, period. Hey, and if there's been no shift, then that's all you need. Some people, like I said, you guys hear me talk about this, there's a lot of people that's used to folks chasing them. They're used to folks taking the initiative. I'm talking men and women alike. I'm not just talking about romantic. They're used to people coming after them. They need people to come after them, always take the initiatives, always be the one seeking to remedy something. And if that's what people were used to you doing, then they'll just sit back and wait over time, or they'll try passive aggressive ways of getting your attention to get you to come after them in some way. But see, that in itself is out of bounds. It's out of bounds. It's toxic. See these scales Divine Feminine is holding? See that authority? She's got in that right hand. Things must balance out. Things must be made right and fair. If people were unfair to you, you know what you've experienced. You may not have all of the facts about every single thing, but you know enough. And if they're not seeking actively to make that right with you, then it doesn't even matter whether or not you were wrong about certain other details. When people fail to speak up and own up, it is their fault if there's any assumptions there left. So they can't get mad. It's like, well, you wanted to play that game. So here is the Russian roulette result. Try, we're in this full moon energy or pre-full moon, so there should be releases happening. Try to set that intention to release the worry about needing to be right about all the facts, and then back to the basics. Loving self, evaluating what you do know, what you know you've experienced with a situation, a person, a group, and then that's it. Whether or not they technically did this and that, and like all that shit, you'll be tied up in the pretzel by the time you finish, especially if you're dealing with super duper quadruple manipulative types, which is where they want to keep you. Anybody that's loving, and I'm gonna push this, I'm gonna drive this home, bitch. I'm gonna drive it till I die. People who actually care for you, truly, not just some people who actually do love you and care for you, they certainly do not want you confused. They're certainly not trying to keep any type of major secrets from you, pertinent information from you. If that's what people do, any type of major secrets from you, pertinent information from you. If that's what people doing, then that's all you need. to know. And that you deserve better than those types of energies. Or you deserve healthier. Because some people just freaking don't have the capacity to be a healthy, functioning adult. And I'm not talking about, you know what I'm saying, perfection, or like I say all the time, this 3D shit, somebody go get a job, bitch, get a car, get a house, boom, bitch. Like, that don't mean shit. I know crazy people who got that. So that's not what we're on. They are empathy deficient. They only operate from learned empathy from watching those who are empathetic, and they only use it when it's going to be to their advantage. So it's not true empathy. Could truly care less. Like, we have to reduce things back to the basics. That's going to be the only thing that frees your mind. Hey, what y'all doing? That's going to be the only thing that frees your mind, says Divine Feminine, holding the justice scales. That's the only way. We cannot force people to be of integrity. We cannot force people to be forthcoming. We certainly can't make an unwell person well. Someone who is, I did a post on my community tab on my YouTube. Some people like their hell. Okay? And they don't want out of it. They thrive in it. They just want you to be in there with them. They thrive off their toxicity. They thrive off of their limitations. They thrive. It's not a reading, dear. I'm sorry. It's just a discussion here. And if I think the post that I put read something like, stop trying to help those types. They don't really want it. They just want you there. They will bring you down with them. People that's used to operating, I talk about this stuff all the time, that's used to being mischievous, deceptive, trickster energy, it has, like, this shit has cemented into them. They have thrived in that energy. It has benefited from them being tricksters, sneaky, condescending, backbiting, thieving, lying, hoeing ass. Shit. People who have gotten used to that, and if they were used to being able to pull the wool over you, or have you to bow, or have you to, turn a blind eye, pretending like you don't know, or you don't see what you see, what I'm saying? Like, to expect them to be any different is really going to be disappointing for you. I'm sorry. If people are professional con artists and pathologicals, you know what I'm saying, and you think you're going to get all of the details and facts, or you're waiting for all of the details and facts, it's designed to tie your life up that way because of it. What do you know? What are you right about? You have a certain amount of information already at your disposal, okay? I'm saying this because I know sometimes in the process of learning how to trust the intuition and training, there is an in-between phase of all of that. Whereas, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong? And also because we're fallible. But this is why it helps to reduce things to the simple basics from what you do know. What you don't need an expert to come help you with, and what you don't need tons and tons of data for. Were they fucked up to you? Hello. Trace your history with them. Trace their conduct towards you. Trace what you know of them. If you have factoids and stories of them that have come out over time, and you know these people were lying motherfuckers, stop fooling yourself then, because it doesn't sound pretty, or it's something that's embarrassing, that's too damn bad. Healing begins, or is something that's embarrassing, that's too damn bad. Healing begins when people start facing truth. You know they manipulative, and I'm sorry if that's your mother and father, dear, but you know the truth. You know they'll steal your shit because they stole from you. So you already have enough data to know what they're capable of. You know they killers. You know they ain't got no problem with assault and battery, bitch. Because you know the history of your peeps. See, people be playing. It's like, come on, you forgot? Did you forget? Did you forget? Huh? Of the things in which you know. You know they gossips. We know the kind of people. Come on, y'all. I wish people would stop playing, man. Stop playing. Just stop. We know what kind of peeps we be dealing with. And then we want to pretend and shit because we want to front like we come from. No. This is the truth. No matter how ugly it is, it's still the truth. Backbiting, y'all know where you come from. You know what I'm saying? The family of backbiters, bitch. You know what I'm saying? No, don't pretend now. See, those are the things that we need to bring in the forefront when we're allowing ourselves to get tied in a knot, on top of the fact that we be having dark witches and warlocks and motherfuckers doing head games and shit, bitch. Mental magic and weird nigga bitch shit. Try to fuck with you. So keep it to the basics then, until if and when you get all of those facts. But if you keep it in the basics, that's going to liberate you. You have enough information. Did they beat you up? See, I'm throwing all kind of shit out there because we be getting amnesia. Did they attack you? Huh? That's all you need to know. And it shouldn't take 12, 50,000 times. Okay. But I do get that it takes a lot of us, some of us got to have a lot of knots. You know what I'm saying? That trauma bond, that Stockholm syndrome be deep. But that's all you need to know. Okay, they had their homie beat you up, then you already know the information that you need. Already know the information that you need. You heard? You caught them in something, you already know the information you need to know. You watched them sit in groups and talk bad about folks for 3 whole hours, bitch. They own people. Then that's all you need to know. We know, collective. We be going through that cognitive dissonance and the dark night of the soul, and I get all that. We don't be wanting to believe half of the shit that we're experiencing or that's coming out because it's disheartening, and it's like, oh my gosh, who wants to believe that there is a such thing of people being so super fucked up? But the quicker we just, that's where that liberation come in. That's when you come out of analysis paralysis. That's when you stop, you're sitting there thinking, what, fuck that. Fuck that. It's the dysfunctionality that we have gotten used to that makes us feel like, I promise y'all, man, y'all gonna find out. You'll find out. That has you in an energy of feeling like you're asking too much, or you're being extra, or because you require respect and transparency and openness from people. That's an abusive pattern because it's been normalized. Oh, this is just how it is. We're abusive and toxic, bitch. And this is the way it is. We lie to each other, bitch. But we are family. We fuck each other's men and women, and we steal, bitch. And we try to kill each other. But we are family. We're secretly jealous of each other, trying to compete and steal shit from each other, but we are family. That's toxic. We're hoping and wishing on one another's downfall secretly so we can cry at the funeral, bitch, and act like we were so wonderful. But we are family. Could care less if the person lives or dies. Could care less about their health and well-being. Could care less, could care less, could care less, could care less. Our behavior has shown and proven, could care less, could care less. But we are family. What we're good at is going to barbecues and Sunday dinners and taking pictures and putting it on social media. But that's about all she wrote. We have to be willing to look at those experiences, and whether this is with friends, family, but anybody, any group or individuals that we have had any type of long-standing experiences with. What if you're wrong? Well, you're not the first human on the earth to be wrong, but you know what you're right about, and what you're right about is what you're going to be basing your decisions on. We say this, you hear teachers and gurus all over social media. It's in all the self-help arenas. It's in you'll hear something to this effect. Behavioral health. We teach people how to treat us, and it's true. It's cliche, and everybody's just squirting it out. But what does that really mean? As long as we continue to passively, indirectly accept toxic behavior, we're teaching people that is okay. I don't care if just because we're not saying it's okay, just because we're not, giving them 500,000 ultimatums. At the end of the day, if you're still accepting it, you're accepting it. If you're still dealing and not requiring true change, we are teaching people that you can lie to me, you can keep big secrets from me, you can keep pertinent information from me, you can be blatantly disrespectful and insult my intelligence, you can assault me and my children and my business, and I will still go sit and have coffee with you. You can talk about me. Somebody says, hello, sis, I love you, Earth Angel. Hi, thank you. You can talk about me behind my back. Pretend like you're not doing it. I know you're doing it. I get wind of you doing it. And yet I still act like all is well. We're teaching people that their fucked upness is okay. You can hit me, you can try to kill me, you can try to steal from me and my children, and we can still go to the family reunion. You can gang stalk me and get a whole group together to come fuck with me, and we can still hug. We're teaching that then they can do it without any kind of repercussion or ramification to how that affected you. And again, some of these people have severe personality disorders legitimately, even if they're not clinically diagnosed, or they call it empathetically deficient. So they just can't, they don't care. They're selfishly driven. Yeah, that is mental, and that's not something. And see, here's what I'm trying to say. This is where I'm really going. The only liberation and freedom that you really can have is, these scales. Divine Feminine is holding these scales, but it requires her taking authority. She's holding it in her right hand. It requires her to put her foot down. It requires her to have boundaries and to not accept it. It's not her job to be someone's psychiatrist. It's not her job to carry someone's mental problems or emotional problems. She is not there to be somebody's punching bag, whooping post, or doormat because they fucked up in the upstairs region. So she has to make the difference and say, I don't think so, my friend Watson. I don't need all the facts. I have the information that I need. Sayonara. We teach people. We say it, but do we even understand what we're saying? If all somebody's got to do is come with a pitiful looking face 30 times over, then you're teaching them that all they got to do is come with a pitiful looking face, and then they're right back in your good graces, and a week later, if even that, they're back to the same fucked upness. They have conditioned you to this trauma bonding way. And you're teaching them that they can do it and they can get away with it. You haven't made it any different. You may talk a good game. You may give them speeches every time and shit. This the last time. And you know what I'm saying? Woo. And if wooty woo, then they don't care. I'm telling y'all what I know. They're like teenagers, dude. They don't care. They're in the moment. They're like, so, whatever you saying. Long as I get what I want, bitch. Okay. But okay, whatever you saying. Sure. I'll just take you through the same saga and song and dance, and then I'll come with the sad looking face, bitch. And boom, bitch. Till we stand strong and require, somebody says they're big narcissists, yeah, and require people to come at us correctly. How do you require this, though, for real? Like, what does that even mean? What does that look like? Because we can't force people, right? So what does that mean? What does it look like? It means this. If they come in any way less than that, you don't even fucking deal with them. Straight up. You don't have a meeting about it. You ain't got to do no meditation, circle badge. It's like, that's that cutoff game, that Queen of Swords. Like you're still trying to come in here and fuck with the head. I'm not about to give you now another speech. The speeches are over. I gave you the speeches. You have had the speeches. You have had all of those moments. Those moments are dead. Now it's action oriented. You come in on to the left, it's going to be bye-bye, baby, bye-bye. Oh, you're coming in with the fuckery. You're not owning your behavior. You're not owning it. You're still trying to skate. You're skating around it. No, bye. You're trying to act like you didn't do nothing wrong. Bye. Trying to play dumb. Bye. And that's it. And you just go on. But believe it or not, this is teaching. They may not like it. These people may not change, but that's on them. But then they're not granted the access to you the way they want. And they're being taught that I cannot go to this person this way. They're not going to deal with that. They're not going to put up with that. They're not trying to hear that. If I come in there on the slick shit, if I come in there not owning what I did or how I treated them, then they don't even have conversation for me. And we're putting the energy out, that's a loving act to ourselves. That's self-respecting. And most of us have been so shaped and conditioned into this normalizing of toxic dysfunctionality, that self-deprivation, self-degradation of the constant putting up with people who don't know how to treat you properly and then want you to be held responsible because they don't know how to fucking grow up and get some fucking healing, bitch, and some fucking personality and some people skills, bitch. It's too much work, but then it's too much work to be in the presence of a divine feminine. Simple as that. It's too much work to be a decent. Y'all don't want to deal with people where it's too much work to be a decent motherfucker. I had to get to a place where I had to be okay with, nah, fuck that. It's too much work to be decent, bitch. It's too much work to be basically humane. That's too much work. That's only too much work for toxic motherfuckers. Entitled motherfuckers. Opportunistic motherfuckers. Okay? That's not too much work for any otherwise normal, sound human being, bitch. That's not self-serving 24/7. When you get to a place where you no longer even want to be bothered with folks that feel like it's too much to be decent. Who want to live like that? Damn, so you don't know how to be humane. I think you're dangerous then, because you don't know how to be humane. You need a motherfucker to teach you how to be fucking humane. Yeah, you don't need to be in a relation with no one. That's dangerous. Those types of people are liable to kill you for $500. Or to have their name up in lights, you heard? You don't want connection with those types of people because they're easily bought and sold. They will wrongly accuse you and throw you under the bus if the price is right. So even if you're wrong about certain details, you got enough information to be able to make evaluations as you need to until you get to a place of training that intuition, and also in that place of more and more of that love of self, knowing that, listen, this ain't about you blowing smoke up your own ass or this commercialized version of self-love, but this is about if you're a decent person, a decent soul, a decent human being, a loving person, whatever you want to call yourself, and you treat people right, you deserve the energy that you put out there. And if they're not matching that, it's hasta la vista. Somebody may say, well, what if, connections and relationships are about working together and working through, say, well, what if, connections and relationships are about working together and working through things? Absolutely. But people waste it. I'm sorry, there it is. Sorry about that. A lot of people wasted years, man. You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them, when to walk away, and knowing that there's a healthy soil to begin with. Is it worth it? I'm just saying, we have to ask these serious questions for ourselves. Nobody else can ask it for us. You getting your ass whooped, you know what I'm saying, every 2 months, or some crazy shit, they getting you jumped and stolen from, or like, we have to ask these questions, honey, for the few good days, bitch, come on, man. Or they're just disrespectful. They tearing you down constantly, but they want you around. We have to start asking the question, like, wait a minute. They causing drama when I try to go, but they treat me like shit as I stay. We're the ones that have to sit down and actually look at that. Like, it's your life. Like, if that's how you want to roll. Like I said, some people, especially toxics, they need people around. They have people assigned for different reasons. They need whooping posts. They need doormats. They need these types in their lives because they're projecting all of their venom and poison that they're refusing to deal with within themselves. that Ike and Tina scenario, bitch. Beat her and buy her a ball gown all on the same day. And you get brainwashed and conditioned into that way of life. Becomes like a drug. And it becomes normalized. That's just the way it is. No, it's not. That's one of the biggest lies ever. It's the way it is because that's the way people let it be. It's the way it is because people are afraid to be alone. That's why it's the way it is. But it ain't the way it is. It's how we allow it. When we stand in truth and stand for justice and stand for fairness and stand for self-respect and stand for fairness and stand for self-respect and reciprocity and connections, not just by our words and threats, but our way of life, the game changes. We're no longer sitting back and just accepting whatever just to have a half a piece of raggedy ass connections with folks. Kinfolk or not, lover or not, friend, whatever the role. Nobody is getting a pass. Parents don't get a pass. Lovers don't get a pass. Nobody should be getting no pass in your life to be fucked up. But wanting you to pour love and adoration all over them, and they give you nothing but hell and hatred. That's ass backwards, by the way. Hopefully folks start catching up at some point before they die. Like, that's ass backwards. So I'm supposed to be praising and worshiping and pouring all this support, love, and adoration, and they treat me like shit. They treat me like I don't matter. They treat me like I don't exist. They treat me like I'm second class. They got me fucked up. They got me fucked up. Divine Feminine, if this is you and your energy in this discussion and in this little picture here flying around here with these scales, you ain't playing. That's where you are now, whether that's what they remember of you or not. Justice will be served, and you have the authority to execute it. You're not just ruled or governed by this 3D world the way they are. You know things. That's that high priestess energy. You know things. And this is another place where they fucked up. What if we're wrong? Well, slim chance. It's very slim. And if you are, it's probably very little bit. But the meat and potatoes and the heart, the foundation and the frequency of the matters, you're 100% on point. If people mistreated you, they know who they are. They know who they are. And they know what they've done. And they know what they've participated in. And some of them feel guilty. And some of them are getting bad karma. Some of them are about to. Many people were told to make something right with you, Divine Feminine, a long time ago. And they all, out of their pride and ego, refused. So now they got to deal with the ramification now. They had their hour, their space, their time. They made excuses. They tried to wiggle out. They did everything under the sun, under everything. So now it's receive time. Because they were told, I promise you, Divine Feminine, y'all know what I'm talking about for how it resonates with you in your life and story. But I can guarantee you the individuals involved, I promise you, every one of them were told at some point. Every last one of them was told. Some of them were told to stand up and say something and speak the truth. Some were told to stand up and assist you. Some were told to give Divine Feminine her shit or wish you had. Some were told to stop collaborating with the motherfuckers that were after her. Some were told, like, look, stop your dark magic now because we're not going to talk to you about it later. So don't cry. Stop it now because we're not going to talk later. Stop trying to kill her and her children. We're telling you this now. We're giving you your full opportunities. Here's your opportunities. Don't say we didn't give you plenty opportunities to cease. We said stop doing your weird nigga bitch shit. Okay? Then we said stop trying to trap Divine Feminine. Stop trying to set her up. Stop lying on her. Keep her name out your mouth. Stop stealing from her. Stop impersonating her. We already told everybody. Give her her shit. Or tell the truth about it. We told everybody involved. So now, them scales. Folks thought they were going to run from for the hills. Well, they're coming to the hills to get them as well, bitch. Oh, shit. They ran for the hills to buy them. Well, they're coming for them. Shit. I'm just saying. This is the heart of what we're really talking about here. These are people who lack the ability. I'm telling y'all what I know. That entitlement, that toxic, culturalized, malignant narcissism. I don't have to do the right thing because I'm okay. Okay, you're correct. You do not. Yes, you're actually right. You're correct. You do not have to. But don't cry later. You're right. You do not have to do anything right. You do not have to make an amends. You do not have to own up your shit. You do not have to, yes, but then accept your lot. Accept your lot. Accept your lot because you will receive. So you might as well stop crying and you might as well stop trying to watch Divine Feminine and all this shit because sorry. Might as well stop trying to be passive aggressive. Say what you need to say. You were told. Stop trying to feel her out. Let me feel her out. Well, you're going to get confused every time you do that because she don't appreciate people playing in her energy. Divine Feminine is frustrating people, boy. Y'all frustrating the hell out of some motherfuckers. They frustrated, bitch. Because they don't know which way. They don't know, man. They don't know. They can't tell. Good. Because they need to mount up. Good. This is good. because they need to fully own and mount up properly. Let me see if she's still mad. You'll never know. I find this fascinating, Divine Feminine. These are people, I say it all the time. These are people that are Divine Feminine. These are people, I say it all the time. These are people that are notorious at doing fucked up shit to people, but they can't handle nothing. They're notorious at being fucked up to the 12th power. That should be their middle name. Whatever their first name is, and then fucked up in the middle. But they can't handle nothing. They scared of you. They can't handle your mad. But they handle being fucked up. They handle that like a boss bitch, a boss nigga. They was the shit. They was smiling and profiling, bitch. You heard? Grinning and shit. Hee-heeing and ha-hawing and laughing and shit. They handled that. But boy, they can't handle, see, the scales, that authority. They can't handle, it's like, I need to see why. Why? Can't handle shit. They did all sorts of evil, wicked shit to you. And your kids, if you got kids. And they scared of your anger. The fuck? They should be happy they're still alive. Kind of shit. You scared. You still here. For now. So, take yourself out of the crazy haze, okay? Whether you are masculine or divine feminine here, pertaining to these questions that toxic folks like to keep you living in, because if they can keep you living there, they can keep your life stagnated, which essentially is their goal. If they can't have their full desire, then their goal is to stagnate your life then. To get you to miss on opportunities, whatever they can do. If they can't have you, then they want to make sure you fuck off the rest of your life, if they can. So liberate yourself, free yourself. You can be wrong about some things, but you are right about a lot of things, and you know it. You have enough information that should give you the strength. It's all right. Starting tomorrow, we're moving up. We worked with the lower chakras for a while, so now we're going to the heart space, which is one of my favorite places to work. My heart chakra, come to find out, is my biggest chakra. That's one of my biggest ones. And it had a crack in it though. It was a crack. But that's because of all the betrayals. But it's one of my favorite chakras to work on, because this is where it's gonna get good. This is a part of why most are fucked up. Right there. Their heart chakras aren't online. Their heart chakras aren't activated. They're not operating from high soul energy. And so this is why it's easy for these types of people to be fucked. It's what makes them primitive. and acting like animals because they don't have an active heart chakra. An active heart chakra is going to be beating when there's something that's possibly harmful to people's lives, that something happens to that space. You don't just bulldoze and go, I don't give a fuck. Like these are people who don't have an active heart chakra. I'm telling you, it's offline. And they operate from them lower chakras primarily. Not that the lowers are bad, but if those lowers haven't been dealt with and balanced out, and they're not continuing to ascend into the high heart, then they're going to be reptilian in nature. They're going to be primitive. This is why, we question how could some people do certain things. Well, this is the answer. The heart chakra. We sit back and be like, damn, people can be that low down, dirty scoundrel. People can be that fucked up to their own. Yeah, this heart chakra. You have to be off of line here to be able to carry out the hideous things that these people do. To do to disabled communities or children, you gotta be a gone motherfucker. You have to have a heart chakra that it's a closed bitch. In the middle of the chest, where the chest is, it ain't the heart chakra. There's it's something else in there, and then if you were to open up, it say closed, or it's got a tumbleweed. Who's got bats that's gonna fly out of there? Be like, because remember those sayings, have a heart? Well, these be people who don't, and I don't care if they have a play heart, okay? Because if it benefits them, if that's arenas they're in to look like they do, but the way they actually behave and how they treat people says differently. Especially if they're able to be fucked up to their own. Listen to me. If you know people that you sit around and be around and you watch them say and do fucked up shit to their own people, that is all the information you will ever need to know. That's all you need. There should be no need for any further investigation. It's the heart. So we're going to start with 7 days. We might do more because I want to concentrate a lot on the heart chakra, especially with this moon energy coming through and how it's said like the seasons are going to be so much lighter and different for those of us that's like been doing the work and, taking advantage. It's like, ooh, it's said to be like this breezy energy that's going to be coming in. I'm like, shit, that's what I'm talking about. You're hurt. But it's working on our heart, healing our pain, the betrayals, the grief, all of that energy, right? And ascending it, activating high soul, the higher heart energy, Merkaba, so that we can live from that space and manifest from that space. But guess what? To live from that space, there's a level of self-love and those lower chakras that needs to be dealt with because you still need to be grounded and have boundaries. This is something I lacked. This is a lot of what a lot of other empaths lack, boundaries. Self-love and proper boundaries. We didn't have any. We never had any. And it became the norm, and people got quite used to that. So in order to keep this in a healthy, that heart energy in a healthier space, we have to be self-honoring. It's not being mean. It's not being cold. It's not being, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of us was conditioned to feel that way. It's like, no, the hell not. If you want somebody's energy, learn to honor the energy in which you, I don't know why this is hard for people. If you want someone's energy, their presence, honor their energy. You don't get to just have, bitch. Honor. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that, man. Oh, Bloomy Bloom had to learn some hard lessons. I had to. Because people used to like to come to me because they feel better when they do. They feel better when they do. They feel better when they're in my presence. They feel better when they talk to me. They feel better. But dishonoring to me at the same time, I don't think so. Treating me like shit or not giving a fuck about me, objectifying me like I'm their personal fucking guru. Come over here, let me dump off my energetic garbage. And then go dipping off and looking for the next cunt. I don't think so. We must learn how to honor the energies in which we want to be around. That's a big time lesson for most of us. Anyway, I know I've got a little bit off track, but hopefully you all were able to make some sense of all that I said here. Get out of the land of overthinking. It's not necessary. It's no longer necessary. Work more on self-love and healing and all of that. That'll help dissipate that gnawing need to overthink everything. Or to be like, what if I'm wrong? 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 Okay, but you're right about a lot. So focus on that, focus on that, focus on that, focus on that. Focus on what you know and what you've experienced and move from that place. Stop giving toxic people passes and making excuses. Empaths struggles with that because we're conditioned and shaped into that very early. To make people feel better. Fuck that. We're not here for that. They need to be working on their shit. The same way you do. Stop making excuses for toxic people. We've all been there, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to make you all feel some kind of way about that. We've all been there until we heal enough to come out of there, right? We've all heard the stories. People that were abused and they were making excuses for their abuser. They were just stressed out. That's why my eye on swole status. Do you hear what you're saying? They were stressed out and you're justifying because they were stressed. You're justifying them knocking you across the head. Do you hear how toxic that sounds? Any grown motherfucker that's fucked up and volatile need to be somewhere and checked in somewhere if they can't control their faculties. Because they ain't the only people on earth that's got stress and frustration. That's why they tried to kill me, because they were stressed out. Okay, so your life is going to be on the line every time they stressed out, they subject to be trying to kill you? Then is that what you're telling me then? And that you're okay with that? That every time they get stressed out, they're going to be tempted to go do dark magic on you? To get you under control? or to move everything out of the way that they feel like is a threat. So kill off everybody that they feel is going to take you away from them, bitch. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just like, man, I don't know what we be thinking sometimes. I'm like, do we hear ourselves? Like, are we really sitting here making this? Really? This is why they energy harvested the disabled community. Do you hear what you saying? Because they were stressed out and needed what? Because they were stressed. What about the stress they've caused the people that they're fucking assaulting? But see, nobody is thinking that, making excuses for these people. They stressed. They needed the money. They're hormonal. I've heard every excuse under the sun from toxic types. And we need to stop making these excuses and tolerating that. They were drunk. Okay, well, you don't need to deal with them kind of people then, because if they drunk and then they try to kill people and they slug, they cut your brake, you know what I'm saying, pipes and shit. They're like, this is how you want to live, bitch? Because they was drunk. I was drunk. You need to be in an institution then, dear. Because if this is how it roll. You was drunk, so you turn into a killer and shit. That's my life. You're a killer when you drink and shit. Or you do weird shit. You do dark magic and shit when you drunk. Like, what kind of crazy movie shit? Well, I didn't have any money and any. Y'all better get out of there, man. That's all I'm going to say on this, because I got to go, man. They ain't the only folks on earth. And I know I said it like that didn't struggle with some financials and situations. Hell, most of them did shit to cause some of y'all to have issues in this area. They ain't the only ones on earth that struggled with some financial situations or concerns about their, home life and where their kids, they didn't see, that's that entitlement and that selfishness. Because they sure didn't care about the shit that they did to you all and how that affected your health and your well-being and that of your children when they were doing the shit that they did to you. When they took from you. They weren't talking nothing about that then, the stress that it caused you, the stress that it caused your children, but everybody on the planet supposed to be caring about them. Y'all better get out of there and get out of that feeling sorry for these types of people. Get out of there. Having stressors in life and financial woes is not an excuse to be toxic and abusive to other innocent lives. And when we willingly support this kind of stuff, we shouldn't be too surprised at some of the stuff that starts to creep in our own lives. You may not be right about everything, but you're wrong. You're not wrong about everything. That intuition is there, and you know what you've experienced. You shouldn't have to get another knot across your head to realize that somebody's got a serious problem. You shouldn't have to get another disease or illness, eerie, weird shit because you're connected to a person. How many more sicknesses and diseases do you need? Because these types affect your health. And some of them are doing it on purpose because they're waiting for you to die. Stressing you out, poisoning you slowly, praying weird things on you, and now you're getting all sorts of weird knots and weird shit over you. Why is this? Get the hell away from them. And leave them alone. And anybody that's still in cahoots with them. Because you can't trust them. You can't trust the people that's still willing to be dealing with those people who do that type of shit to you. All right, Divine Feminine has spoken, bitch. I'm just kidding. All right, y'all. I didn't mean for this discussion to go that long, but hopefully it's helpful. I know y'all seeing something in the background here. What is this? Oh, that's my. I'm like, what is that? It's my hand. Yeah. Let's utilize this moon energy the best we know how. Set some intentions. Clear your energy. Do what you can do from where you're at. Get your head clear. Stop worrying and stressing over toxic people. Gain that wisdom and lesson and move on. We can't, I'm sorry, you guys, you can't fix people. Nor should we be trying. People have to be able and willing to see what they need to do within themselves and choose to go on an individual perspective path to do it if that's what they really want. But if you want them scales that y'all see Divine Feminine holding, if y'all want things balanced in your life, you got to deal. You got to deal with the imbalances. You got to deal with the injustices. You got to deal with your energy. You have to do things that's going to bring balance to help to foster that balance back into your life as well. Your part of the matter. The higher selves and them top dogs, your team for the rest. Right? Y'all can do this. We can do this. Divine Feminine and Masculine alike. The awakening masculines. I'm rooting for all of you. Y'all got to get with the program though, masculines. It's been too many ages of you all staying in stupors. Too many. This is why the shit is as we see it now. Staying stuck in that 3D shit, that lust, your trauma, your addictions. And this is what low vibrational types of energies capitalize off of, you guys. You have to enact and step into divine masculine, which is action orientated. To make changes, to get them scales balanced in your life. Nobody can do it for you. Divine Feminine, as powerful as she is, as you can see, even you learned that. But she can't do it for you. She fighting battles constantly. She trying to keep her own head above water, bitch. She got targets, man, on her because she served to help awaken you. Do you know that? Do you even get that, masculines? This is why it's no time to play. People are after her for many different reasons. And they're after her in part because she served to awaken you. So you can't afford to be passive anymore. You can't afford to turn a blind eye. You can't afford to play in the devil's playground. You can't afford to be worrying about your next high. You can't afford to be worrying about what it's going to look like. You can't afford to be trying to be a people pleaser for your mom and daddy. You can't afford at this stage of the game. You can't afford that. The stakes have been rose. People are after you. People are after her. People are after her children. People are after your children. No more room to play with lowlifes. People are doing dark magic on you. They're doing dark magic on her. They're doing dark magic on her children, and yada, yada. There's no more room to be scared to face divine feminine. There's no more room to be scared of standing up for yourself to these lowlifes. There's no more room for this. Their threats, their bullying. It's time to take action. It's time to take the reins fully. Ask your guides to show you what you can do energetically and then literally and practically. To clear your energy, to send that toxic, weird nigga bitch shit back to each and every one of these motherfuckers. To amplify your sovereignty, asking your team to clear your energy, divine feminine's energy, your children, her children, calling judgment. We don't have time. Speak your truth, live your truth. Stand up for justice and what is right. Open your heart. We're going to be working on this heart chakra because that's got to be touched so that you can take heart space action orientated movement towards divine feminine, but just in your life. This is where you're going to see them scales. Y'all want them scales balanced, masculine? This is a collaboration. You and the universe, you and your higher selves. You can't play with them devils and think you're going to get them scales balanced, my friend. You heard? We love y'all. Okay? Oh, Bloomy Bloom. Represent divine feminine in the house. We ain't hating on y'all. We've been the ones fighting. Even when people wasn't understanding us. We were the ones speaking the truth, dropping them gems and shit, bitch. You heard? We was the ones doing it when folks were saying that we were crazy. So we ain't hating on y'all. But we're not karmics either. So this is why y'all have to learn these lessons of dealing with your ego. We're not karmic. So we ain't gonna be all the shit that y'all used to when we ain't in our wholeness and shit. It's like, bye bye baby, bye bye. Like you come on now. You heard? But you can't be being scared of divine feminine. She holds them scales. Look it, she's holding the scales. So what does this mean? It means that she is a just and fair woman. This is really all that she requires. Okay? All right, y'all. Anyway, hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your whatever time it is, bitch, where you at. Take care of yourself, okay? None of us perfect. I get that. So please don't take these things in this way. But it is about your heart and your intentions. There's a vast difference between your very, wait, what does that say? Before I say I got to squint, bitch, bloom. Oh, no problem. My pleasure. I think it said thank you. Um, there's a difference. You know, I say this to people all the time when I get these questions. It's one thing to make a mistake or be wrong, but the intention wasn't to be wrong. The intention wasn't to purposefully, willfully mislead or hurt someone intentionally, versus premeditation, knowing that you're wrong and spitting it out anyway, knowing that it would hurt someone, doing it anyway. Like, people have to learn how to differentiate that kind of stuff, because we're all fallible. But this determines people's karma too. The difference in the type of energy they get back. Because if somebody's got a pure heart and intention, that no, they're not going to get the same energy back that somebody that set their plan, premeditated, knew that it was going to hurt somebody, wanted to do it for that reason, knew that they were lying before they opened their mouth. So on purpose, like did that to purposefully get someone off. You know what I'm saying? That's different. They're going to get the lot of that. They can lie to everybody around them, but they're going to get the lot of that. If you were just mistaken, or, you know what I'm saying, your intuition wasn't on tilt that day, or you had a piece of fact not accurate, your energy wasn't that of malicious nature. It wasn't intentional. So you're not going to get no kind of weird from your higher self, some kind of backlash. Your heart. Anyway, let me get going. Something. What did it say? I've been on for 90 minutes. Damn, okay. That's like what? Hour and a half? Okay, I got to get going. Boom, bitch. All right, y'all. So tomorrow, we're going to start working with our heart chakra. And so I'm going to premeditate about it and see what I can incorporate. We're going to do a reading to kick it off to see what's been affecting the heart chakra. And then from there, we'll do all of the other goodies, like the exercises, the mudras, the affirmations. I'll share little tips, anything that I'm led to or feel would be useful and that I myself do, because that's the way I operate. I myself have to be incorporating that in my own life. So, anywho, let me get going. I love y'all, high vibers. I appreciate all y'all, boom, bitch. I appreciate y'all support for the High Vibe team. If you're not already subscribed on YouTube, I invite you to do that if you're guided. I do appreciate all of that. Yes, I know I haven't responded to the comments yet. I haven't reviewed them because I had promised I was going to do it. I'm already in March. I'm like, God damn it, bitch. But then I just recently had to relocate my son, so it's been a lot. I've been doing a lot of back and forth and all over the place and getting him nice and set up, and I still got a couple more stuffs that I got to do for him to get it totally, like, it's not all the way furnished, and so we're still working on that. But anywho, I'm not ignoring the High Vibe tribe, okay? I just haven't had a chance to do it just yet. So hang in there. I appreciate your patience with me, and we will be getting into some good stuff here soon. All right, so I will see y'all tomorrow, or talk to y'all tomorrow. Heart chakra, 7 days. Set your intentions. We're going to also incorporate the moon energy, bitch, because this is fixing to be. Okay? All right, guys.